What's going on, everyone? James Hancock here. I'm back with my Dark Souls walkthrough as Sorcerer. I got cut off last time because I'd forgotten that I had made a kind of a lengthier video and decided to break it into two. But what I was about to say is that the boss was pretty damn easy because I really took my time getting prepared before coming down to Blighttown just because I hated down here and I wanted to be a little overpowered. Some people come down way earlier, but I just thought, why not have a little extra health and a few extra spells just to make it a little more pain-free. Now here I'm ringing the second bell of awakening, and I'm just going to let this play out, but I always enjoy these little cinematics. But now that I have rung the second bell of awakening, the game is going to really begin in earnest. I mean, there have been some challenges up to this point, but I really get into kind of like the meat of the game. As you can see, that's like the main area where they fought the gargoyles, and that is Sen's fortress. And this big-ass giant's waking up because of the bells, and we're actually gonna fight this motherfucker pretty soon. He's got a few mats that we want to get off of him, but he raises the gate, which means that the Onion Knight will be inside now because we've opened up the path, so we'll be talking to him. But yeah, Sen's fortress is just this really cool zone with tons of traps and interesting ads, and I just absolutely love Sen's Fortress. But you can really tell at that point you're getting into the heart of the game and the real challenges, because Sen's Fortress is just the warm-up for Anor Londo, which is probably the coolest part of Dark Souls 1. So I'm just looking up there because I'm trying to figure out how this connects to a zone much later in the game, but it won't really make sense until I've explored this big demon area, but this part right here is what goes down to it. Here's a hidden wall. This is absolutely essential if you want to do pyromancy or the shortcut toward the end of the game. It'd be nice if people don't hit them. They sell some interesting spells. They can upgrade your stuff. This big-ass giant, like, gray, disgusting spider creature over here is the Covenant leader, and if you give her 30 humanities, then she will max out your stature and allow you to buy one of the coolest pyromancy spells in the game. If at the end of the game you're totally through with all the spells and all the quests and everything you want to do, if you kill her, I believe you get a Firekeeper Soul, but you can also reinforce your Estus Flask with her. So if you had the initial Firekeeper killed by, what's his name, Lautrec or whatever his name is, and you don't want to wait until Anor Londo, she is an option for coming down to upgrading your Estus Flasks. This guy also is really crucial because not only can he upgrade your fire glove or whatever the hell it's called, or your pyromancy flame, if you get infected by these weird parasites, which are in the next zone, he can sell you the cure. Basically, these guys that look like they have a big giant like mutation of eggs growing out of their backs, they're just some of the most disgusting creatures in Dark Souls history. If you fuck with them and they hit you a few times, what they'll eventually do is they kind of reach out with this big tentacle arm and they grab your head. And 5 minutes later, you will start to see your character scratching your scalp and kind of itching at it. And you're like, well, this is kind of interesting. And then like 5 more minutes later, it'll hatch and this giant, like, disgusting egg thing appears on your head. And what it starts doing, it starts eating half your souls. Anytime you get souls, it eats half of them. And I think when you have effectively fed it, there's one of these guys. I hate these guys, but they are cool looking. When you fed the parasite in your head 100,000 souls, meaning you have to get 200,000 souls, it will mutate and turn your head into like a gigantic tentacle thing, so that when you throw your kick, instead of it being a kick to move someone's shield, your giant tentacle thing will just reach forward and attack your enemies. It's really cool for videos and for PvP and for cosplay and that sort of thing, but this early in the game where 100,000 or 200,000 souls is still a really big deal and would cost me a lot of levels, is not something I'm interested in. Technically, I shouldn't even be doing this zone. I should be doubling back. Dark Souls is arranged in a really weird way where you accidentally stumble into essentially in-game content when you're not even halfway through, and they just make you figure it out that it's not time to do this. But what you can do is do a little cheat to get one of the bosses down. That area down there, which I just looked, is where I would normally fight the boss if I were doing it for real. But because I'm way too weak and way too just squishy right now, I'm not even going to think about fighting him the real way. It would take 10 years, and I just have zero interest. But really cool looking boss, and when you kill him, all the lava in the area drains away, opening up the zone. But he won't attack you until you pick up this one really rare set of light armor for sorcerers It is an absolutely essential set of gear. It looks cool as shit, makes you look like a giant like ring wraith from Fellowship of the Ring. But it also has really cool resistances to flames. So anyway, the gold hem black set. You gotta basically haul ass past Ceaseless Discharge. He almost always is gonna hit you, so you want full health, otherwise you're just gonna get one-shotted, as you can tell I almost did. Sometimes he hits you a second time, but I got lucky and missed. So you just sprint. Take a left if you want to fight him, but I also just run in here to use some Estus real quick to heal up, because sometimes the glitch or the exploit, which I'm going to use, doesn't work, and he just stays way the hell back and just starts zapping you with these giant fireballs from a distance, which just fucking wreck your face. But I'm crossing my fingers that all goes according to plan. So essentially what you do is you sprint all the way back to the gate, and you just chill and wait for him to come up there. It blows my mind that the people at From Software never decided to remove this glitch or this exploit, because it allows you to kill one of the most powerful bosses in the game with just a couple of hits. He almost caught me. I should have been hauling ass a little faster. You can jump forward and whack his hand with your weapon, but I'm just being careful. I'm just shooting with spells because I think it's fun shooting in the face. But he essentially drops his arm and gets stuck. And if you hit him a couple times, he just freaks out and just decides to die. And so, yeah, there you see, half his health just vanished. At any rate, it's a huge mess of souls that you get at a very, very early part of the game, which is obviously great for leveling up. But that armor set is just killer, because I am a person who's going to be probably wearing light armor the entire playthrough, so having as much variety on that front is really, really advantageous. So here's the lava drying up. It's going to open up an area. The first area is really, really cool because it's filled with people that used to be bosses. Like, it's got a Capra demon down there, and it's got, what the hell, what's the name of the big-ass demon you fight on the bridge in the Undead Burg, the very first time? Anyway, it's got like 9 of those. But it's cool because when you go down there, you realize just how powerful you've become, because something that used to be a boss, you can now fight them just like they're normal mobs. And I'm just going to look down over the hill and show you what I'm talking about. Also, now that the boss is dead, you have to be careful with these guys. They will start coming after you. But anyway, you can see them off in the distance. Those are all demons that I fought at the beginning. And there's the Capra demon down there. He's in a much bigger space, so he's way easier to follow, but he's just as strong. So these guys now, you have to start being aware of them. They will come up and try to hit you and infect you. Also, if you kill them, and you kill them the wrong way, they drop like a million disgusting little parasites on the ground that all come after you that are a giant pain in the ass to kill. So I tend to just run past them. So I'm going to do some quick leveling up, because what I'm going to be doing is leaving Blighttown. And leaving Blighttown can be complicated, and you can die pretty damn easily, and you can lose your souls, which sucks. So let's go ahead and putting a point into attunement, because if I can get my attunement to 19, I will have 5 spell slots, which is perhaps maybe all that I'll need in this playthrough. I mean, the only way I'll take my attunement any higher is if I find myself in the latter parts of the game just running out of spells. But I want to put as many points into things like endurance and health and intelligence as possible, just so I can play. What else? So the reason I am not fast forwarding right now is because this is in this walkthrough the first time that I've gone down to this area. So for people who are still learning their way around the game, I just thought it'd be useful to show me backtracking. But this is where I fought Quelaag. Hang on, I'm just gonna grab a quick sip of water. I love that boss. It's a shame she's so easy, because it'd be fun to fight her a few times, but you can always look forward to fighting her on New Game Plus, where she'll be more powerful. So once again, like I've mentioned before, Blighttown has 2 entrances, and the long way I'm still going to ignore for the time being. I think I'm just, what am I doing? I'm going to pop on the Rusted Iron Ring. Yeah, I'm popping in the Rusted Iron Ring just to make it a little faster to get out of here, because the Rusted Iron Ring does allow you to run through the poison water super quickly. But when I come back here way later in the game to meet the Onion Knight and tell him about his daughter, I will take the hard way down then. I will grab the Wanderer set. There's like a badass looking like ninja set up there, I think. Maybe 1 or 2 spells, a good shield, but you got a couple of those toxin guys, and it's just awful. It's really easy to get lost. It's really easy to die to fall damage, and I'm just not going to subject myself to that misery until I absolutely have to. Since I gotta come back here anyway, I'll just do it then. And at that point, I will probably do the Great Hollow. The Great Hollow sucks, but it has astonishing mats for upgrading your gear. And if you're planning on maxing out some armor or maxing out a few of your weapons, it's just a necessary evil. So I will be showing a full comprehensive guide on how to grab everything out of it. But I'm not going to be doing that until I'm way more strong. So I'll just come back and do all that in one fell swoop. So every single stone in this game will eventually be looked under if you have patience, because I'm a little bit OCD in terms of, it's like when a professor, when you're a kid, would like write on the chalkboard and erase some and not erase it and like completely and just leave a little bit. I would just sit there in the class like obsessing like a psychotic, like wondering when are they going to erase that last little smidge. Same thing in games. I like to look at every single little corner before moving on to New Game Plus. I probably could have equipped my invisibility spell to get the hell out of here, but for whatever reason, leaving here, you see that fucker who just shot at me? I will be coming back here. This is the hardest part of Blighttown by far, this little area, but I'm not going to do it quite yet because I want to get the hell out of here, save at or restore myself at the bonfire up on the surface, so that if these fucking assholes kill me with their toxin darts, I don't have to take the elevator back up. I know I can get down these ladders to these people pretty easily without worrying about dying. But if I have to take up the elevator each time I try to do this area with the little toxin dart guys, it's just sheer pain and misery and awfulness. The reason you do the area with the guys with the toxin darts is because there's a Firekeeper Soul down there. And if there's a Firekeeper Soul anywhere in the game, you just have no choice. You gotta get her done. I think I stop here. Yep, I'm gonna fight these guys because I'm recognizing that I'm real close to getting my attunement to 19, and I just know that if I farm a few extra souls, there's a good chance I can come back to this area with 5 spell slots instead of 4, meaning I've got all my attack spells as well as invisibility, so no loss in power. And plus, they're just sitting easy to fight. Like, that guy snuck up behind me, and I still managed to dodge his club attack. Although I think I get whacked here. I suck. Yep, there. See how much poison he put on me just with that one whack? So if you have a couple of them ganging up on you in a small area, you can get hairy pretty quickly. At any rate. 3 guys down, they're worth 500 souls each, that's not bad. And it's time to head back to the beginning of the game, rest, heal, regroup, and then I'll come back down here and show you how to get the last Firekeeper Soul in the area. So this area now should be painfully familiar, so I'm just fast forwarding. There's no reason to see this crap. Boom, 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 boom. Don't I look pretty in my red and white outfit? All that good stuff. And just hauling ass through. The only thing I don't like about wearing the crimson leg piece is that there's no shoes or boots. You just run around barefoot for a reason. I've never really fully understood that. I mean, I'm not a hobbit. I'm a sorcerer, so running around without cool looking boots just doesn't make any sense. So at some point in this playthrough, I might have to swap out the Firekeeper legs and wear something that actually makes me look like an actual adventurer. Just if you're going to be running around these horrible castles and dungeons and swamps and everything, you're going to be wearing footwear. Anyway, attunement 19 now. That means 5 spell slots, which is absolutely awesome. My other sorcerer, who's my test character, who's at like almost level 80 now, only has 5 slots, and she's just been wrecking people and having no problem. I never run out of spells ever on that character. So I'm just equipping, because I've been down here so weak, I'm equipping a couple of high number spells that don't hit that hard, as well as remedy, because as you're about to see, I should have talked to this guy right here, but I'm an idiot and forgot to, because he should be spoken to after ringing both bells. I'll do that in my next video. But this next area, there are at least 4 of the guys hiding in the shadows who shoot those darts. I'm equipping 1 moss just in case, but I recommend, if you don't have the spell remedy, I recommend, when I see the blood, I'm just wondering what the hell happened here, so I just wanted to look. There's nothing too interesting. For whatever reason, when you touch the bloodstains in Dark Souls 1, that's one area of the game that hadn't really fully developed yet. It looks way cooler and is way more informative in Dark Souls 2 and 3. But I'm always kind of morbidly curious. Debating whether or not I should use my spider shield. But this is me just running back into the same area. I'm sprinting past all these guys. You've seen it a million times. I don't need to show it. But I am going to slow it down for the ladders and where to stop to go into the area with the toxin darts. Once again, you got to be super chill at this part, because there's going to be hornets flying at you. There's probably going to be insects shooting flames at you. And there's going to be these little fuckheads shooting the toxin darts all at once. It's very easy to get distracted and panic and die and have to waste time coming back. And once again, the goal is always to save time and just be progressing. So if you aren't rushing, I recommend killing all the big guys with fire on your way down, because sometimes they'll follow you and they'll drop in on you. Like, see those motherfuckers? Alright, I'm already toxic. Somebody's shooting me. So I'm starting to have a little bit of a meltdown. But here's the area. It's dark as hell in there. There's one immediate. Oh, that motherfucker dropped down. So yeah, I'm very well should die here, but I think I'm gonna get lucky and not. They also have a very high attack rate. I knocked him over. I'm just trying to get away from the horns now. See, there's another guy shooting darts at me. So if they shoot him with such a high rate of fire, it makes it very hard to stop and heal. Every time you try to use an Estus Flask, they pop you. See, I'm just getting hit from all over, which is panic-inducing because you're losing health really, really quickly from the toxin, and you can't heal. So I'm just gonna try and create a safe space. You know, I hate that expression, safe space, but I need a safe space in order to heal. So I gotta kill these bastards and find an area where just by line of sight, people can't shoot me. So remedy, get this goddamn toxin out of my system, heal up, and now I can take a breath. I've found a spot where no one's shooting at me, and I can kill a few of the bad guys. There's a guy with a needle around the corner. The first one that hit, he fell off, but he's still alive. So I have to be aware of the fact that I still have to reckon with that piece of shit. I think they're my least favorite mobs in the entire series. Yep, there's two of them down there now. I got real lucky that somehow there are two down there instead of up here, because they can just overwhelm you. But I think they just got a little overzealous and they fell, so they're totally fucked now. Anyway, I think there's there's definitely one more around the corner I have to be aware of. But I'm just trying to get rid of these little dogs first, because these dogs can gang up on you and make your life hell. Like everything in Blighttown, it's just a terribly cruel and unfair zone, and you gotta be careful. But the crisis is over, because once you're in here, no more hornets will follow you in. Well, actually, maybe I shouldn't say that, because I can see them coming. Yeah. God damn, I hate these guys. They're already toxic. You can take one hit without going toxic, but if you take another hit before it's had a chance to tick off, it's gonna get you. But Remedy, once again, proves to be one of those powerful spells in the game, because it just drops it. And it saves you so many souls, because if you try to buy those clumps that get rid of the toxins, you just waste so much souls that should be going into your stats. This is me being stubborn and foolish, trying to shoot the dog down below. I've got him targeted, but my spells are being blocked by the ceiling. I'm just refusing to give in, but it's because I have so many soul arrows, I can afford to waste a few, but it's just not working. So time to go down and around so I can get my Firekeeper Soul. With good line of sight, there are a few more dogs I can hit and kill before I get down there. These dogs, I think they spit a little fire, perhaps, or they do something that's weird. Maybe they poison or bleed, I don't know, but if 2 or 3 of them are on you at the same time, it's just no bueno. You want to avoid it if you can, so I'm going to thin their herd just a little bit more before hopping down. So yeah, this is one of the advantages of being a sorcerer. It's like, if you had a melee guy, you'd have to just drop down and just roll the punches. Sorcerers can kind of rig the game in their favor. God damn, I hate those fucking hornets, but at least he's just kind of hovering away from me. So it's time to go down there, and yeah, the worst part of the Blighttown is now over. Granted, there are 2 more dart shooters in the other way down into Blighttown, but I won't worry about that, because by the time I come back here, I'll have way more health and way more spells and way more resistances, and it's just, I'll be able to kind of mop the floor. As long as I don't do something stupid like dying to fall damage or rushing things and letting things gang up on me, when I return to Blighttown, it should just be a cakewalk. Never really understood that expression, cakewalk, but I'm sure someone smarter than myself knows what the hell it means. 2 more puppy dogs, but if you keep your distance, they just are confused. And now I've got another Firekeeper Soul, which is awesome. Once again, I'm 99.9% sure that the max you can get in one playthrough is taking your Estus Flask up to +6, and I think that is where it stays forever. No matter how many playthroughs you do, at +6 is your max. I'm using a homeward bone to go back, and I'm going to turn this sucker in, but once I turn this in, I'll be up to +3, so I'll be making, I'm not even halfway through the game, and already my Estus Flasks are healing like a damn champ. But also, I'm not going to be using any heal spells on this character at all, so that I want to make sure that I always have as many strong Estus Flasks on me as possible. Anyway, so I'm starting to feel pretty powerful, but next up is Sen's Fortress, which should get interesting. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to subscribe to my channel and comment, and let's hit like. Oh, there I am doing a little bow. That's going to be my new thing, and decided I'm going to bow at the end of my performances. But thanks so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.